One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Baton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, friend.
Hey.
Today's a fun one.
This is a fun one.
I'm excited.
We are powering through these pre-recorded
Episodes.
But at least we can actually shoot the shit because the last two we
skipped right on over.
Yeah, that's why I'm stopping you before you get it.
I know, I literally was like, vulva.
Yeah. Well, yes, we will be talking about vulvas.
Yes.
Vulvas.
Yay.
So.
And I'm wearing my Yoni.
I know, we got Yoni necklaces.
Kels gifted me my early birthday present. My birthday's not till April.
I know.
You're very cappy. Way ahead of the game.
Between all of you and friends, there's five of you within like a 3-month span. So I was like, let me grab where I can grab.
I appreciate it.
Yes. So
I feel like I needed my Yoni.
Yeah.
For this episode.
It's a Yoni Labradorite. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
It's very cool. It's from Xanthia, pink. So
it's beautiful.
They're very cool.
And I've recently really gotten into labradorite crystals.
Mm-hmm.
They've been finding me. Like Candace, I had made a purchase from Candace, Drunken Unicorn Apothecary.
Whee!
I said it. And she threw like a few little crystals in there, and that one really called to me. And then I think I mentioned in the last episode, but I found another like little cluster of it at this like vintage place with Celeste and Val, and it's gorgeous. And then you gifted me this, so now I can wear one.
They're so pretty, and they look like they glow inside. Like that crystal usually looks like it glows inside. It's the coolest.
That's
like
so pretty.
It's really cool. But
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I got them and I was like, wait a second, we're doing the episode. I was like, oh my god, these are gonna be perfect. I was like, oh, way to go, me. Like,
We'll take a picture with them.
I was like, past me, way to go. Thinking about future me. Yeah. So how has your weekend been?
It's been great. We've been kind of on it with like recording. I feel like it's kind of become like our little part-time job because like, we've been recording back to back, but I'm like, I like this. I'm like, I could get used to doing this like all the time.
Same. Yeah. I'm like, we got to do that. And like the content for it too, Tik Toks and stuff are fun. So
yeah, the Tik Toks. I've just been trying to get my shit together because I'm leaving to Mexico in 2 days. So I've been just trying to get everything done, trying to get work done because I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks and I'm self-employed. So it's like trying to get, the coin before I leave, basically.
Hence why we're pre-recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
So, but it's been a pretty good week. It's been very, very nice.
What did we do Saturday night?
What did we do Saturday night?
Really?
Oh.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, but
I don't care.
I thought it was funny.
So okay. Do you want to say it? Because I don't know, like, what you want me to say.
I don't care. I'm an adult.
We got high.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be a pothead. Like, I used to smoke every single day for quite some time. And then when I started my awakening, I just kind of stopped. So, yeah. So I smoke occasionally now, and I don't know. I told you to stash my weed, basically, because I can't really have it where I live. And I know I'm like 30-something years old, but I'm also Mexican. Val's family's Mexican, so just due to respect, I was like, "Yo, can you like store my weed?" Because it was gifted to me from one of my clients. So I was like, "Okay, I haven't had weed in years, like on me." So
I was like, I guess, sure.
And keep in mind, it's like a very small amount of weed.
It's like a teensy bit.
It's a teensy bit of weed. But I was like, "Can I just store it in your house?" And you gave me the go. So the other night, I was like, "You want to just smoke?" I'm like, because like I don't know anybody else that smokes.
Yeah.
So how was that for you?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's been like 10 years. And like me and my partner didn't try it until we were like 20 or 21. Like, we never tried it before then. Like, this is very cap energy. That's why when Sandy was talking about like trying stuff, and Sandy's a Capricorn. I was like, how?
Yeah.
like why? Like why? I don't know. It was just me, but he also like my partner doesn't really like substances like that. So.
Yeah.
Or like really trying. It took a long time for him to take like an Advil.
Yeah.
So to try that was a big deal. So it's been a long time. So I don't know. It was fun though. We had Thai food. And it was fun.
It was good. We got the munchies.
And it was like I'm in my own home. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm over 30. I'm in my own home. Like
I had a DD.
Yeah. You didn't drive and I didn't drive anywhere. Val came to pick you up.
We're adults.
Yeah. I'm like I don't know why I'm justified.
I know. I'm like, I mean, me too. I think it's like, even though like we're in our 30s, I don't know. I don't think that like feeling of like, oh, like, you know,
well, because it's been demonized for so long that it's like, oh, they do like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about because they smoke pot. I don't know where that came
I mean, maybe we don't. Maybe we
know.
do. I don't know. But I mean,
it was fun.
It was fun.
We had fun, and I don't know. And it was just fun. I don't know. We were just talking, and I don't know. There was some movie on or something.
Oh my gosh, we were watching.
Oh, we were watching music
videos, and I was like, oh my god, crumb. Like any sound, I was just like, I don't even know what we talked about. I just know we got into like deep conversations, like all four of us.
Yeah, it was fun. And the Thai tea was amazing.
Yes.
So good, but
how's your week been?
It's been good. We did that. We did that.
Was that your shooting the shit?
That was my shooting the shit. Because Sunday I woke up with a headache. Actually, this is why. Okay, so I was never like a pothead. I have smoked a couple times, and normally I just fall asleep. So I never made a habit out of it because I can sleep just fine.
Yeah.
I don't need help sleeping. So I was like, I don't want to pay money to sleep. I can do that already. Yeah. So that's why it's been so long. And then also like any like substances, whatever, drinking anything, like it gives me a headache. So I woke up the next day with a headache, and I was like, oh, like okay, like that wasn't fun. That part wasn't fun. So we just chilled Sunday, and we watched the Royal Rumble 2022.
Ooh.
It was fun.
The wrestling?
Yeah.
Cool.
Such a nerd. That's what I was telling you. Like, I was like, he was like, oh, did you know that this is on Sunday? I'm like, oh my God, yes. He's like, we're going to popcorn, candy, like, let's do it. Like, the whole thing we're going to watch, it's like 3 hours long.
I love that. That sounds fun. I mean, I don't think I've ever sat down and watched wrestling.
It was fun.
That sounds like fun.
It was a blast. So that was cool. And then just worked.
Yeah.
Other than that. That's why we went right past the shooting the shits the last time.
Yeah, because we were like, we're gonna catch up. But
and because we worked. That's all we did.
That's all we did. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, at least they gave us some content for today.
Yeah,
today's episode.
I'm
so excited for this because
I can't imagine why.
Pussy. Wait. Pussy.
That was the ending of shooting the shit. So what are we talking about today?
Vulva. AKA pussy. Pussies. I love saying pussy.
I'm aware.
I think it's just like I don't know. It's a queer thing.
It's just because everybody makes it sound like so taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could start with that. Like, I think a lot of we greatly know this beautiful flower, as a lot of people call it vagina, but vagina is like the outside of the vulva, right?
No, your vulva is your outside, the vagina is inside.
Oh.
The vagina is your connection between your uterus and your vulva.
The more you know.
I just explained this.
Wow. I look like a really bad gay person. I think I knew that.
You just got us flipped. Cut all this out.
Dyslexia.
Cut all this out.
No, it's fine. Because I feel like it's a common thing that a lot of people construed.
Because I was teasing because my partner and I went to the grocery store today, and that's what we do on Tuesdays, everyone. And I was like, oh, we didn't get like a ton of like responses, like, but that's okay though. Like, people will, one day they will,
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if everybody got confused on what a vulva was.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be talking about just the...
And he was like, wait, what part is that? I was like, it's like your outside. Everybody calls your outside the vagina. Your vagina's inside. Your vulva's the outside. So
okay, well, I'm kind of talking about sense and like what they mean.
I think when we say vulva, a group way of how we were talking about vulva, vagina, uterus.
Oh, okay. Because I also want to talk about the clitoris. So
Sure, I guess part of your vulva.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna be talking about all of that
Cool.
jazz. I'm excited.
Yeah.
You got here with like a full ass outline, Cornell notes.
I totally have an outline. Because I just wrote like a stream of consciousness. Like, this is what I want to talk about. This is what I wish
Look at
people.
your vocabulary.
Anyway, because I was like, this is what I want to talk about. Like, this is what like I wish people would have told me. I wish I would have learned. I wish I would have known. So just passing that on, because there's stuff that I wish I would have known as a teenager or younger. Like, so I just wrote a bunch of stuff out, and I was like, okay, there's no way that I can coherently read this. I was like, let me do plot points, outlines, or whatever. And you were talking about doing that, like, it's kind of like a second job, and it was fun. And yesterday I was like sitting on the couch in the middle of the day doing this, and I was like, this is kind of fun, just like research. Because I wrote out a stream of consciousness and then researched it to make sure I was right.
Yeah, I love that.
So I was like, oh, I kind of like doing research for this. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
It's a fun topic.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a thing because it's so taboo in our, you know, in the world for some reason, like vulvas, vaginas, just anybody who has a uterus, like it's been so taboo to talk about it. I remember growing up and like thinking like, oh, I need to hide my tampon or my pad. Like people are going to think it's gross. And it's like, we're trying to break all those things.
Yeah.
Because it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And
you know?
I've always, like, whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on my period or this or whatever. And like, I've had all brothers, so they've all like, "Ah," and they like freak. And I'm like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. All they're all straight. So all your wives are going to deal with this or whatever, or whoever.
Or kids.
People with uterus, you know, get over it. I really don't care. 50% ish of the population has to deal with this.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't care if you're squeamish about it. It's not a big deal. It's really, like, it's not. I mean, also too, I'm like, if you like them, wouldn't you want to know how they work a little bit more?
Yeah, you would think.
You would think.
Yeah,
you would. I'm having a real problem lately with Tik Toks and seeing if straight men actually like women. So.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys like women? I'm very confused. Anyways, that's way off of it.
Yeah. But we could get into that. But.
Yeah. I guess we'll get into it later.
Okay.
Just me and you.
Okay. Fair enough.
On the taboo, okay, I guess we can start taboo. I already talked about periods, kind of, if you want to get into that. So what I wish someone would have told me is alternative methods of like period catching, I guess, like different methods to use other than just tampons. Like, there's tons of stuff out there. There's cloth pads. There's there's now the like think underwear.
Yes.
Like, there's cups, menstrual cups, which like, let me tell you, like, I've already told you about that, but like, menstrual cups changed my freaking life. Like, before, when I was using tampons, like, I would have told you, okay, explain your period to me now. I would have said it's heavy, like 5 to 7 days, and I have cramps and horrible back pain like the entire time. I don't literally change the cups. They're like 3 to 4-ish days, and I have 1 day of bad cramps, and that's it.
That's
like,
crazy.
It could be just because I grew up, but I'm pretty sure it's the cups. Like, it's like the tampons take a lot of the moisture out of your canal, and like they're also, I mean, menstrual cups. You also have the risk of toxic shock syndrome, but it's far less than with the tampons, because the tampons, like, it's basically holding the blood against the side of your canal. The otherwise in the cups, it's inside the cup. Like, and like a lot of people are like, oh, it's gross, you have to like touch it. Like, it's really not a big deal. Like, I've never been grossed out by
I've never been grossed out by I always found it intriguing. I know it sounds weird to some people, but I'm like, whoa, that's crazy that my body's producing this. And especially when I was younger, we're gonna get like X-rated over here. But like, you know, the blobs of blood that come out, I always thought they were cool. I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm kind of like, this sounds so gross, but I'm like, I kind of want to squish it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably crossed some of y'all's mind, but I think it's cool. And the more that I dive into spirituality, like, the more I see the power in what our bodies do.
Definitely. And like I'm gonna be like a super advocate for cups too, because like a lot of them, like the reputable ones are they're medical grade silicone, so like they're still safe for your body. Like if you were to get implants, it's silicone, like it's that medical grade, and like they're eco-friendly, like they are reusable, obviously. Like I literally haven't bought like what are they called? Feminine products, quote unquote. I literally haven't bought them in like more than 7 years.
Think of all the money you've saved.
I know, because at first I was like, oh, it's like $40. Like that's kind of expensive. And I was like, wait a second, I spend way more than that a year. You know, it's saved me. And that like, oh crap, do I have anything here? Do I have these things here? Like, you know, we that little, everybody, no, anybody who's ever had a period has that little worry of like, crap, do I have stuff at home? I have to go buy a new box or blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't know. It's really been like the coolest. I wish somebody would have told me forever ago. I love them. You could swim in them. I work out in them. Like you can do a million things in them.
I'm so intrigued. I actually have a question, which I'm sure some people that haven't tried the cup, because I haven't tried the cup. I'm definitely going to, because you've been on it with like, and honestly, I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
Because it is like a little pricey. I think like the good ones. Also, make sure you get a really good one.
Yeah.
Diva Cup's like a reputable one, right?
Yeah. I use a Lunette Cup.
Oh, okay.
And like the go ahead and ask your question now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. So, do you wear the cup even on your light days?
Yes. So that's the difference too, is that for me personally, everybody's different, but my last day is super light and I wear it just in case, and because I know I'm still going to, and I don't really like wearing like panty liners or anything. I do have cloth ones that I made a long time ago because I like the reusable thing. So like I have them, but you don't wear it to sleep. So I wear like cloth pads to sleep that I made, reusable ones. So I do wear it on the light day, but sometimes like for me, I'm chubby. So like I don't really like, no, like I just mean that like everything is enclosed. So like I don't really leak out into my pants that much because everything's enclosed, if that makes sense. And like I guess I have less of a fear because I don't really go anywhere. So if I leak anywhere or I leak in my pants, I'm home. It's not really like a huge deal.
Yeah.
I just with the cup, I think that what people don't get or like they give up on right away, because it took me a few months to try it. I almost gave up, but I was like, no, I feel like it's gonna be okay. It takes a little bit of getting used to. You have to make sure there's like a suction inside so that you don't leak around it. There's different sizes too, depending on whether or not you've given birth vaginally or like you're older or whatever, or like it's I mean there are only two sizes. It's one or two. Like I just went with the one because I haven't given birth. So
yeah.
But I do wear it on my light day. I mean, I don't know. But
I was gonna say she tight.
that is also a myth, my friend.
I know. No, I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Vaginas literally do crazy, amazing things.
Oh, yeah.
They expand and then they contract.
Yeah.
And it's
So I'm sorry, your partner is not stretched out. Sorry about it. That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Fuck whoever says that shit.
Definitely. But if you also have any personal DM, you want to DM me about cups, I will tell you exactly the one I bought, a link to it, whatever. Mine is Lunette, and it comes with, or you can buy separately, like, it's like a non-scented, like wash for the cup, so you can keep it sterile. You always also boil it before you start your period, so you boil it, obviously let it cool down, and then you use it, so that way it's like extra clean.
Do you boil it every day or just like right before your cycle?
I do it the first day of the cycle. Like when the first time I'm going to use it, I boil it first and then I use it through the cycle. And then you're supposed to boil it after, but I'm like, I'm going to boil it next time. So I'm kind of like, it'll be fine. And that also, because you want to boil it. So, because sometimes if you don't, what I've heard is you can get yeast infections from a living bacteria that's on there.
Oh yeah.
So that's why the boiling is, but it's like I don't know. It sounds like a lot, but it's super easy. And like if you're worried about like because they don't have a string to them obviously, but they have a tab that you like adjust to how like high up your cervix is. And you can cut off the tab to whatever to make it comfortable. Like I literally forget I have it in. Cool. It's so much more comfortable. Like, I don't know. I can't even.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. I can't even say any more good things about it. Like it's the best. Yeah. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of, since we're on this topic, I kind of have steered kind of clear of tampons as well, even though me and Val make it a point to get like the organic ones. Like we use Honey Pot and those type of brands. And yeah, I just like don't like the feeling that tampons make me feel. And I also find that every time I wear them, my cramps are really bad, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's something behind that. So I've been more of like, since I haven't gotten the cup yet, I've been kind of more into the period panties and free bleeding and just pads. And yeah, I ruin underwear, but honestly, I'm like, if it means that I'm, you know, taking care of her, or of them, or whatever you want to refer my pussy to, like whatever. I guess my pussy doesn't have a gender. I guess
that's up to you.
It's very confusing. Anyways, so yeah, I'm very, very, very much intrigued by this cup, and I've also started using the discs. I don't know if you've heard of those, but it's a similar concept to the cup, but they kind of remind me of like the NuvaRing, because I once upon a time when, you know, I was with men, I was on birth control, and that's the method of contraception that I use. So it's very similar with how you apply it. I feel like the cup would be a little bit more comfortable because of the texture, because the disc, even though it, like, you don't really feel it when it's inside, it's still like, you know, a plasticky.
That's the thing too, is that with cups, also, if you don't like that specific brand, try a different one, because sometimes they're softer. The reason I chose this one is because you want them soft but not too soft, because if they're too soft, they collapse. Like she's strong, so she will collapse it.
Okay.
So you want it's just about finding the right fit. Like, also too, if say you're, because they had said for like bigger people with uteruses, they said they get the bigger size, and like normally I'm a thick girl. I'm cool with that. It's not an insult. It's the truth. I am, and I like it. So I was like, oh, maybe I get the size 2, but I was like, I'm also short though. So like the distance between my cervix and my opening is not that long. So I was like, okay, so you have to take that into account too. Yeah. Plus, to me, like, I really don't feel it. Like, once you have it like a groove on how you insert it or whatever, and it's like sits in the right spot, you really like just don't feel it. It takes a little bit to get that though. And like for me too, tampons were always freaking so dry, like, and like,
I hate that.
Just like crying trying to pull it out is like not fun,
especially on light days,
dude. Ow. Yes, that's why I changed too, because I was reading when I fell down the rabbit hole, and once I was reading a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like, you don't have to deal with that. And also, like, so the cup, you can like lube and like put it on like a water-based lube, and you can, or just water and like insert it easier. And because it's coming out and it's already been in there and it hasn't dried anything out, it's going to be easy to pull out. Yeah. Like, it's, I can't.
I love that.
I know. I wish somebody would, I've had mine for like 7-ish years, but I wish somebody would have told me about it as a teenager. Like, and like, you can wear it for 12 hours. You don't have to change it that often if you don't want to. Like,
I love that.
So people kind of freak out about being in public bathrooms with it. But you can also, there's wipes that you can buy where you can clean it inside the stall. You don't have to go to the sink. Like, there's so many different ways. I'm like, y'all, if you want any other questions, you can go number 2 on it too, graphic, but you can do that also. Like,
that's convenient.
Yeah, like,
because I shit like 3 times a day.
Well, also, like, everyone knows like period shits are like the worst,
especially those days. Yeah.
So yes, it's like, you can do that too. I'm just telling you can do it all. They're freaking great. I like them so much more.
Yeah.
So that is my cup spiel.
Cool. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with,
of course,
the cup. And yeah, I'm gonna try it. You sold me.
Yeah.
They need to sponsor us.
Well, hey, Lunette. Yeah.
Hey, Lunette.
Oh, also, too, the reason I chose Lunette back in the day, I don't know if they still do this, but back when I did choose them, they gifted, like, a cup to a community. Like, cool. I'm not sure where. I can't remember where it was, but they gifted a cup to a person in a, like a underdeveloped country or something like that. I can't remember that. And I also saw that they do it for, like, homeless teens.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, because I can't imagine having to deal with that, among other things. So, yeah.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to talk about pussy odors. And this is like, first and foremost, I want to emphasize, you hear that, Mom?
You can wait if you want.
Okay.
He's like, pussy, no!
Pussy! No pussy talk.
I hear gays talking about pussy.
All right, so I'm going to be talking about pussy odors, and I want to start this topic with saying that odor is normal. Odor is a part of having a beautiful flower down there. And so I just gathered some educational information from this YouTuber I've been following for, honestly, I want to say like 6 years. It's so weird because like I watched her like 6 years ago and I didn't realize that she was spiritual.
Oh.
And so she talks about the yoni and all that stuff and how it helps, you know, your health, your spiritual mind. And I went through her videos and I found one about vagina odors and the reasoning that there might be behind each scent. So the first scent she spoke about was a tangy, which is the most common scent in the vagina, and that's due to the pH levels of the person. And it could be like slightly acidic, but that's a normal smell. That's like, you know, I mean, a lot of these smells are normal and everybody's different because we all have different pHs, but that is one of the most common ones. So that's the first one. The second one is a coppery scent, and the coppery scent can depend on your menstrual cycle because usually when you encounter a coppery scent, that means that there may be like residual blood from like your menstrual cycle or in the fluids, and it could also be a sign of slightly bleeding after sex. So if you have experienced like bleeding after sex, there'll be like that coppery smell because usually blood has iron in it, so the iron smell is, or the metally smell, comes from the iron. And if you are experiencing this scent and it's not related to your period and you're encountering itching and discharge, go get it checked. But for the most part, it's like nothing to worry about. And also, bleeding during sex is not normal, which means that you're probably not producing enough lubrication on your own. And that could be, you know, that could be many different reasons. But if you are encountering that pretty often, I would go to the doctor just to make sure everything's a-okay. And the next scent would be a sweet smell like sugar. And usually a sweet smell, I feel like there's like a misconception, I think, in this scent, because that's not really what a vagina is supposed to smell like. Usually a sweet smell means that there's bacteria growing. Like, I mean, our vaginas are like ecosystems of bacteria. Yeah. It could be like that it's humid outside or there's like a lot of heat being stored there. So you want to just, you know, because there's so much bacteria, good and bad bacteria, you want to make sure you let her breathe and, you know, go commando at night at least, or like just like wear something, you know, kind of airy so that it does have oxygen in there.
Also, too much sugar can cause yeast infections.
Exactly.
So it's part of it. Like, I have a whole thing about
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about yeast infections because I am a yeast infection.
I've never heard that statement ever.
Well, like I'm excited to talk about it because I have had countless yeast infections, and it's definitely gotten better because I'm well aware of like what causes it now. And it's also like it all depends on the body.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go back to that. The next smell would be like a chemically, like a bathroom with a slight fishy smell, like a bleach smell. If you are encountering that, and in a combination, you are gathering like maybe, or encountering like green or thin or gray white discharge with itching, or if it hurts like when you pee, it could be bacterial vaginosis, which is very, very common in uterus havers. So it's also very, very common. So don't be alarmed if you have this. It's very treatable. So that's like another thing.
Just go to the doctor.
Just go to the doctor for sure.
Yes, I'm sure they see it a lot.
Yeah, it's very, very common. Or the next scent would be a pungent, herbally, earthy scent, which usually just means that experiencing a lot of stress maybe, and it could also be like your sweat glands are releasing that scent because, you know, it's usually due to stress. So like the way you feel and your emotions like can really affect your vagina.
I have a story for later on stress affecting periods because
Yeah.
I know firsthand the stress affecting it.
Yeah.
We'll
for
go into it.
So the next scent would be a fishy scent, which can usually be an imbalance or an infection in your vagina. Common sexual transmitted infection called trichomoniasis. So that's a possibility. Don't be alarmed. Like if you are experiencing that scent, like, you know, if you're experiencing like other symptoms besides the smell, especially like if you're getting maybe like discharge you're not really familiar with, or if you're itching or anything like that, just go to the doctor just to be safe. Go to your gyno. And the last scent could be a strong rotten scent, which is very, very rare. That usually happens when you maybe like leave a tampon in there, and that you'll notice it if you're like wearing clothes and you still smell like your vagina. That's usually the scent, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
But of course, go to your professional doctor for that.
Yes, and use condoms.
And
y'all.
use condoms, y'all. And don't leave the condom in there.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I got all my resources from Adina Rivers again. If y'all want to check out her video, 7 types of vagina smells and what they really mean. And the whole video is up on her YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, because I'm sure you know out there too. Your smell will also change. Whether you're on like I can kind of like I'm already so regular with my menstrual cycle that I know when it's gonna happen, but like I can tell the changes in what's happening before that happens. Like it's just something that happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get back into periods for a second, I guess. Stress can affect them. Your eating can affect them. Your getting a tattoo because you stress your body out can affect them.
What?
I
did not know that.
Yes, some people, or that's why also too they say if you're pregnant you shouldn't get anything because the stress can cause harm on the fetus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's one time, there's my stress story, I guess. So like 4 years ago, I was super stressed at work. I had just taken over somebody else's position also at work while doing my own. I was kind of balancing between going to LA to do production work and then being in the office in Anaheim and doing the customer service. And I was horrifically stressed out. I had no stress management. It was bad. I just was so stressed out and working till 11 most nights, like weekends, constantly working. And it was the middle of my cycle. And I remember I was trying to get something done. And it was between periods basically. So it was the middle, like I was ovulating, I guess. And I was trying to get something done and I felt like, I was like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, but I was like, oh, I'm going to get this done. That's the kind of type of worker I am. Like, I'm not going to stop to go to the bathroom because I'm working, I'm doing something. So finally I get done with it and I get up and like the seat of my pants is like soaked in blood.
No way.
And I was like, what the heck? So I call my partner and I'm like, like I had to throw those pants away, like soaked in blood. And so I went to the doctor, got an ultrasound and everything. And I was like, oh, could it have been like, I didn't think I was pregnant, but could it have been like a miscarriage or something like that? And she was like, no, you don't have any hormones that would indicate that you were pregnant beforehand. And she's like, are you stressed? And I was like, yeah. Like to say it, like I could cry at a dime, like the drop of a dime because I'm so stressed out. She's like, that's it. That's why you did that. Like it'll cause, she was like, it shouldn't happen again. You need to learn to chill out though. And like, that's when I started to chill out about work. But yeah, it can like, that's how much they can be affected. Different kinds of foods can affect it. Like also, like I was saying, like eating too much sugar can affect your yeast infections too. Also like so we can get into that kind of like cleaning and like that kind of thing. Like hygiene using like feminine washes that have scents can also cause that.
No, do not use those.
The entire like the way that this has been told to us as teenagers about using douches and things like that, like your vagina is a self-cleaning organism.
Yep.
You do not need to clean it in there. That's what your period's for. It does its own thing. That's what your discharge is for. It does its own thing. Your vulva, however, you also shouldn't use soap on it. It's like water and warm water and your fingers.
Yeah.
Like even when you're like about to make sexual contact, like clean your fingers. I know it's not very sexy to like let me go wash my hands, but like also don't give me a yeast infection with your dirty fingernails.
I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, clean, wash your hands. It's not cute. Also, too, like it's that's not cute. I mean, everybody, you know, but like also having that like being out of commission for a while is also like not fun either.
It's not fun, and it's painful.
It is.
It's uncomfortable. It's painful. I've had my share of UTIs. I've had my share of yeast infections, and yeast infections, I'd say, like, even though UTIs are very painful, I feel like yeast infections are as well. Maybe not in the same way, but it's just very inconvenient, and they don't feel comfortable. You don't really feel like yourself. It's always in the back of your head. And yeah, make sure you pee after you have sex.
Yes.
Any type of sex.
Yes.
Like, please.
Yes, you pee after because for when you when you have a vagina, your urethra is so short, so any fluids getting pushed into there will cause that.
Yep.
That's why you want to pee afterwards. So everybody pee after sex. Also, not the cutest thing, whatever, but also you don't have to deal with that afterwards. I mean, it's not foolproof, obviously, but it can help. Also, you were talking about pH level, like it's like a super delicate balance. Like even different partners can change your balance. Like it's kind of a funny thing. They also it's like an old wives' tale kind of that like your body will tell you whether or not this man is right for you. Because your body will tell you like or your body will have an infection or get sick every single time you have sex. Yeah.
Also, it'll when we like coming back to the washes, you kind of mess up your like scent. So we're mammals. So I've seen this somewhere. If you're like using a I don't even know if astringents is like the proper word, but if you're using like artificial like washes or just like anything other than water, you're basically like not fucking up, but like you're messing with your pheromones, your natural pheromones. So therefore you may be attracting the wrong partner if you are doing that. So that's something to think about. I think Adina she spoke about that in one of her videos.
Interesting.
That you can kind of mess up your pheromones in that sense. So just water. Water is your best friend.
Clean hands.
If you partake in oral sex, brush your teeth because our mouths are very dirty. So wash your teeth, mouthwash.
You don't want to like eat something spicy and then go down.
No hot Cheetos and then stick your hot Cheeto fingers up someone.
Exactly.
It's just not fun.
Yeah.
So just don't do that.
Yeah, because that'll also obviously mess with your pH balance. Like there's a good amount of range of like what's normal, but it can be so delicate that like our discharge is so acidic that it could bleach your underwear. Like that is like
that happens to me all the time.
That's what you're dealing with here. It's like you want to like that's a reason also too like so like you were saying it's a good bacteria that's in there, and there's when there's too much bad bacteria, obviously that's when you get an infection. But that's why also when you take like antibiotics, you want to be careful and like replace those good biotics with probiotics because that's how you get an infection also, because it'll kill all your good bacteria. Like it's
that's why I'm such a big kombucha drinker, because like I said, I'm very prone to yeast infections. And if I don't pee after I have sex, if I just do anything wrong, if I have too much candy in one sitting, like literally I will get one. And so I'm a big kombucha drinker. I drink alkaline water. Alkaline water is really good to prevent that stuff. So just keep an eye on like what you're eating and consuming, because you are what you take in. So just everything in balance, everything. Also, even like it's so delicate, it comes down to the type of underwear you wear also. This is different for everybody, because I know mostly they say if you want to prevent them, you don't wear thongs or anything, but like I TMI, but I exclusively only wear those and like don't have them as nearly as often as you do. Like, I don't know if you wear them. I wear granny panties, but I started wearing granny panties because I found that I did get yeast infections because of thongs. but it also has to do with the material of the
Yeah.
underwear. So if you're wearing like maybe like a cotton thong, or if like me in particular, I used to wear really tight pants like back in the day, and that also was like a culprit for
That's what they say too.
formulating.
It depends on your body though. That's why
Yeah.
I want to stress that so much. Like if you're like, no, if your body works with everything opposite of what we're saying, then you go with that. Go with your
Exactly.
body. Because me, I wear like almost exclusively leggings, and they say you're not supposed to. That'll contribute.
Yeah.
And that's all I wear. Like
It's all, everybody has a different like anatomy.
Yes.
So it's whatever works for you, but it is good to just let her
Yeah.
breathe. let
Yeah.
your vagina and
Yeah.
your vulva breathe
See,
occasionally.
For me, wearing like granny panties like that, to me, everything is hotter down there. So that's when I'm like super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's just because that's the way my anatomy is.
Yeah.
That's why I don't wear them, because I'm like, I feel so much hotter in these,
Yeah.
and that like I can't handle it.
I think it's like I don't want to say I have a little booty. A little booty. Like I have a little something there, but like I'm not blessed in there, in that department so much. So I think it has to do with my anatomy, like of like the shape of my vagina and like how it's very
for sure it does.
enclosed. I know this is TMI, but like it's very enclosed. So like I always stand with, or I always sit with like my legs spread out for that reason, because I'm trying to let her breathe. Like subconsciously, it's become something that's part of my everyday.
Well, when you deal with them so much, you like do everything you can to not make it happen, because it's like,
I just pretend, you know, I don't know. I don't go commando during the day because I haven't gotten there. Like but hey, if you
it's a
can't,
lot. Like,
yeah, if you
it's a
can't,
big step.
go for it. Like I do at night. Like at night is where I'm like, all right, there you go. Have a breath of fresh air.
But also that's different too, is that like I don't do that, and it's
And it works for you.
It's
Everybody's different.
it works.
Figure out like what your body
Yeah.
likes, and like I said, or like we said, this is all personal experience for each and every single one of us, and in between me and Kels. So it's normal. So
Definitely. Like I can't stress that enough.
yeah.
Let's see. That was all my notes.
Oh damn.
I know. You said a lot of it too, so
Oh okay.
okay, so I was saying that make sure that you're always using condoms. What if you don't need condoms?
If
You do need them, but they're not in that shape.
well, I think it's like personal, depending on the person. You know, I think it depends on the person and like the type of relationship you have. Me personally, I'm monogamous. I'm in a monogamous relationship, so I don't really need to use dental dams, which is like the, you know, vagina, uterus havers, contracept.
Condom?
Is it well, safe sex barrier?
The safe sex barrier is better.
There
Yeah,
we
'cause
go.
it's not really contraceptive.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really matter, I guess. Wait, look at us figure this out.
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
I would think it's a safe sex barrier.
Yeah,
It's probably-
safe sex barrier.
yeah.
Yeah, if you know if you're playing with a pussy basically, and you want to do it safely, there are options for you. There's dental dams. I've heard people. I don't know how effective this is because I've never used it. Val's my only uterus haver partner I've ever had, so we haven't used dental dam, but I'm sure that they're great, you know, if you are with multiple partners and you want to be safe and make sure that you're not spreading any diseases and whatnot. Those are great to have. Personally, yeah, I've never used one, and I've talked to friends about it, and yeah, they're usually like the friends I've talked about it are in monogamous relationships, and they don't really use them, but they're there. They're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Another fun fact that I also learned through Adina Rivers was that your vagina is connected to your tongue and your nipples. So therefore, if you're stimulating your tongue like by kissing or whatever, or your nipples are being stimulated, it literally directly affects your vagina and like the juices producing.
Yeah, your clit is also connected to like your sacral, like your not your sacral. What's your bone in your back? It's connected to your back
tailbone?
also. Like, not your tailbone. There's a part in your back that it's connected to. But that's why sometimes you might like feel like the stimulation like up through your like. It's kind of another reason like the, I don't know, the female orgasm is like through your whole body almost.
Yeah. And doesn't it touch your like G spot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's connected to your G spot.
That's good too. If you ever look at the anatomy of the clitoris, it's like
it's huge.
It's huge, and it basically like, so if you look at the anatomy of a clitoris and a penis, like it's the same shape. It's like exact the same parts, just in a different part of the body. Like
it's literally the same thing.
Yeah. So like your clitoris is on the outside, and the muscle runs through like underneath all like where your mons pubis is, like all through there. Like,
and I actually have a fact about the clitoris. It has 8,000 nerve endings that is connected, and it could range, like, we literally have like an indoor penis inside of us.
Oh, it's the same organ. Yeah.
So it like ranges. It could be like 4 to 7 inches in your body.
That's crazy. That's what they always talk about. I actually ran across a TikTok, is that like it goes up through kind of up into your stomach. So that's why sometimes like you might feel it up there. Like that's because it's connected everywhere.
Yeah.
It's connected.
Yeah. That pressure. Like if you're being stimulated in the clitoris and you feel all the contraction basically that's happening. And it can, it makes you feel nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the clitoris never ages. Did you know that?
No.
It's the only organ in your body that never ages.
Wow.
So you could be like old as fuck and you could still come the same way.
Wow. That's very interesting.
So I'm going to talk about an experience that I had with stimulating my clitoris. We're getting to the nitty gritty over here. So I always thought that squirting was like bullshit. Like growing up, like I was like, this is like something like men invented because of porn or whatever. I didn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way. And then I got into my relationship and I was like, oh, okay. I saw it happen. and then for the first time, like this was like a few months ago, I was partaking in self-love, and and it happened, friend.
Wow.
It happened. It literally felt like I had, like my water had just broken.
Whoa.
It was like, I didn't know what the fuck just happened. I was like, what the fuck? It was gnarly, but that's how mysterious like pussies are. And yeah, and honestly, to this day, I believe that doctors don't even know exactly what the liquid that comes out is. They don't, because there's like no smell to it. So
it's not urine.
Yeah, it's not urine, but it's also not like
discharge.
So they still don't know where it comes from and like what it is, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
That's how complex.
That's also too, I want to like go into that myth also. Like if you're not squirting, that doesn't mean you're broken. Like you like, there's also like not everyone has like vaginal orgasms. Like and not everyone has clitoral orgasms. Like you are not broken. It just is what works for you.
Yeah. I never thought that would happen.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I didn't believe it. And yeah, like not everybody can do it. And honestly, like it happened when I was by myself. Like I didn't,
I'm interested because, I'm not interested. I'm interested because it's like, or that's interesting because there's also these glands, the glands that are in like your like labia folds almost. They're up higher. I'm not a doctor, everybody, but they're up higher. They're called Bartholin glands, and that's basically what produces your like wetness, your juices. And also you could get Bartholin cysts. I've had those before. They're horrifically painful. But it's basically like a blocked duct or like I don't know, or maybe you like shaved the wrong way, stuff like that. But like usually they go away, but sometimes you have to have them lanced open and like,
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So like I've had experience with those, and like I wonder if it's maybe like an overproduction of juices from that. I don't know. That's very interesting. I never thought about that. But like, if you have Bartholin cyst, it's just like a little pea size like It's not on the top of the skin, it's underneath, and you can feel like a bump there. They usually go away, I don't know, a couple days, a week or so. You can do like warm compresses on them, because I get them also in my my armpits, like my lymph node glands right there. I don't know why that is. It's usually when your lymph nodes are inflamed, it's fighting off an infection. So it's whatever I'm fighting off at that time. It's different for your glands, but I get them in my armpits too, which is
we need a professional.
We do need a professional, but I don't know. I've talked to the doctor and she's like, oh, they're normal. Like it just let it, if it gets really bad and doesn't go away within a week, come see me and we cut it open and it, drain it out whenever. I'm like, I just pray that it always goes away before, because that sounds really painful. So, but I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of happens to me. Like during my period, I get, I don't know, I think I had talked about, in the Jessie episode that I had a bump in my breast. And
yes.
And that bump always comes back during my period.
Mine
and then
too.
it gets
goes
smaller.
away. I have a lump that comes back during that time, because it affects your entire body, everyone. Like I have it's a cyst that basically fills up and drains basically every time she just told me to keep an eye on it. So I have one too, and I can always feel it when it's around that time, like, oh, like, hello, you're back.
You're back.
And then it's gone. Like, so I always have to, if I'm going to get it checked, I have to go during my period, because otherwise it's not there. And she's like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
I sound crazy. So
yeah. This was our pussy episode. It went by so quickly, but I think it's because it's so full of knowledge.
Yeah. I had a lot. You ever have I think this is what happened with both of us, is that it's like, you like think of things throughout the day and you're like, oh yeah, and then when you go to write them all down, you're like, crap.
Yeah.
I forgot every single thing.
I'm sure this isn't gonna be the first vulva episode that we have. I would love to have someone that like knows more about it. Like obviously, like everything we've talked about is from research and from our own experiences. But if you have any questions, or if you'd like to share some of your insight on vulvas, reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to hear you out, or like talk about it in a future episode.
Yeah, hit me up if you want to talk about cups, because I love mine. Like I can't even, the amount of grief tampons used to give me and the amount of pain I was always in during that time is like, that's why I said I wish somebody would have told me sooner. You mean I could have went like 10 plus more years using this and I didn't have to deal with those? Like, ugh.
I'm gonna definitely hit you up about it.
For sure, brah.
For sure, brah. All right, so I guess we'll do our socials.
Yeah, you can follow us, or please follow us, or reach out to us on our Instagram. It's One Thing Queer, and my personal one is SpexRayX.
And my personal one is at Jenny Lynn Bouton, and my Reiki Witchy page is Celestial Light Witch.
You can also email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com, or try to follow us on TikTok.
Yes, we're at One Thing Queer Podcast on there.
Yeah, we're gonna make some today, so it's gonna be fun.
Stay tuned for that. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode all about vulvas, and we can't wait to see you all next week.
Yeah, we'll see you then. Okay, bye.
Graphics by BexUniverse.co. Music by Jacody.